Hi class, so this video is a makeup video in case you missed class on Wednesday. This is everything that we went over on Wednesday. This is also a review in case you did attend class on Wednesday and you need a review of what we went over. This can be for you as well. So I'm just going to quickly go over this. What we talked about is narratives through music and exploring COVID through narrative. So we started with a check-in on Jamboard. Before we got there, I talked about how we're going to take this journey together by exploring music and art and how we can tell stories through music and art, not just words. And we will be doing that as well, so just so you know. One of the most important ways to raise our voice and share our experiences is through art, music, and literature. So we will explore music and art that was created and released this summer. There actually is quite a lot. They explore topics like racial inequality, police brutality, and COVID. And our personal narratives, they don't have to be about racial inequality or COVID, but they will be about your experience this summer. So these are great examples of taking your personal experience and turning it into something beautiful and powerful. And that's exactly what your narrative assignment will be at the end of the 6 weeks, which is what we're working towards. And you'll also be able to add music or art to your written narrative. So I have some announcements, and the announcements are that I definitely recommend you join Project Lit. I am also kind of joining Project Lit this year because I decided to be involved. The next book they're reading is Monday's Not Coming. I love Project Lit because they choose books that are actually relevant. A lot of you talked in your journals last week about how you normally don't like to read because you don't find books that you're interested in. Some of you talked about how your 6th grade and your 7th grade teachers did a really good job of helping you find books that you liked, and hopefully I can do the same for you all. One of the ways is to join Project Lit, and Miss Smith, who's in charge of Project Lit, is actually mailing free books if you sign up for Project Lit. So she will mail you the book so that you have it. If you prefer audiobook, let me know because I believe I have the audiobook version of this, and I do not mind sharing that with you. So if you join Project Lit, you read the book or listen to the book, and you attend the meeting, you will also get extra credit for my class. So just keep that in mind. If you are interested in joining, you can email Miss Smith. If you can't find her email address, let me know. Just email me. And then make sure you're using your reading and writing journal correctly. Some of you did a fantastic job and you wrote a lot and it was really good. And I really appreciate those of you who followed the directions. However, some people, and when I say some, I mean a significant amount of people did not follow the directions. Whenever I record videos like this or spend the time in class talking about it, please make sure that you are extending me the courtesy of actually paying attention. And some of it was just honest mistake, but some of it was not reading the directions, not watching the videos that I create for you. So I was disappointed. Also, some people just wrote a sentence. I, from this point on, will not accept a sentence. A sentence will get a 0 because it shows me that you're not putting any effort. Some people said they didn't have any reading experiences to talk about. I don't accept that either. So from now on, those will just be 0s. I need you to put some sort of effort into my class in order for me to give you a grade. So please make sure that you're doing that. I'm going to quickly show you how you should have completed the journal entry because if you did not do it correctly, you will have to do a revision and you will have to do that this week before you can complete your new journal entry. So let me quickly show you that. So in Google Classroom, if you go to classwork, this is from week 1, it was due last Friday. You go to journal entry, view assignment. And you go here. It's all these directions are things that you need to read. and it says that you're going to use page 2 to answer your journal prompt. So some people did not put it in the right place. From now on, I cannot accept it if it's not in the right place, because then you won't be able to do it the next week. It's really important that you do these journals correctly, because you have to do a new one every week up until the end of the 6 weeks. And if you don't do it correctly, you have to keep redoing it until you get it right. So in order to save your time, make sure you are following the directions. So it says to click on this journal prompts document, and it will tell you what you're supposed to be writing about this week. So if you clicked on it and the first slide that popped up was slide 3, Thursday, September 3rd, that's because you did it late. If you did it late, the first slide that popped up would have been the one for this week. But if you come down here, it tells you that there are slides. The journal prompts for these reading writing notebooks will all be on this slideshow. That may be confusing if you're someone who's doing your work late, but for anyone who's doing your work on time, it's not a problem at all. In fact, it is better for them all to be in the slideshow, because that way, if you have to do a revision, you can hit next, and it will tell you what you should have done for Thursday, August 27th. So make sure you're paying attention to these dates. This slide number tells you what slide. If I pulled up your reading writing notebook, I would look at slide 2 and I would expect to see the answer to this prompt. Describe a significant reading experience. How did this shape you into the reader you are today? It also says to turn in your journal when you're finished to get feedback. Some people did not do that. And then if you go back, which is this first slide that pops up for you, this is for this week. The most current slide will pop up first. So if I go to your reading writing notebook and I check slide 3, I should see that you have responded to one of these prompts in one page. So you have to write at least a paragraph. It should cover almost the entire page. Some of you did a fantastic job. I was super impressed. You know who you are because I wrote you responses, feedback for everything that you've turned in. And some people, I said, I will take it because this is the first week, but next week, if you turn this in, I would not take it. I would make you do a revision. And some people have to do a revision. So please make sure that you are following the directions. And if you are confused, it's your responsibility to come to my office hours so I can walk you through it, or send me an email. So just know that. I know I've heard from your teachers last year, and I know that you guys are a really, really good class and that you're really smart. And I was really disappointed by some of the work that was turned in these journals, because I know you can do better than that. So I look forward to reading your responses from this week. Also, just so you know, you may not be able to complete your journal activity until the day that I've assigned it, which is Thursday. And the reason why you may have to wait until then is because you cannot edit these. These become view only if you turn them in before I return it to you. So please be patient. It takes me a long time because I actually do read everything that you write and give you feedback. So please be patient with me. You may not be able to do the journal entries early. You may have to wait, so just know that. Okay. So then we did our check-in for the day, which is on this Jamboard. You will have to complete this if you have not done this already. This will be a participation grade. So we watched this music video. This is Janae Aiko's music video called Summer 2020. So she's actually talking about her experiences in the summer, which is exactly what your narratives are going to be about. So this is a great example of something that you could do for your personal narrative. Of course, you will have to write about it, but you will have the opportunity to incorporate an artistic element such as a song, a video, an art piece, a mural. Also right here, if you would like to explore the lyrics, there is a Genius link right here, which you cannot click on. I could not make these hyperlinks on Jamboard, but you can double click, and that way you can copy and paste this into your browser if you would like to look at the lyrics. make sure that you're only responding on the block that you're in. So this is only for block 1, this is for block 2, 3, and 4. So the question is, what was her summer like? What message is she sending to our audience? Create a post-it to answer this question and include your name. So you go over here, you're going to click sticky note, and then this is where you type your response. So you would type something like, she had a experience this summer, and she is telling her audience that you would fill this in with your answer, and then you would put your name. And hit save, and then it pops up, and you can drag this anywhere you want to as long as it's not covering anything important. So you might drag it there, and you don't really need to resize it or anything. So that's how you complete the Jamboard activity. And then finally we get into the main activity for the day, which is we will be reading this personal narrative called Since I Became Symptomatic. You can click here to see a copy that you can follow along. And I've also recorded a video of me reading this aloud to you, because I know for some people it's just easier to listen to the story. If you are listening to the story, then make sure that you are also following along in the text as well, because your learning target question will ask you something from the text. So in this one, I remind you of the free text pyramid. So we talked about what we learned in the exposition, what events happen in the rising action, and what you think the climax is. We're not talking about the falling action and resolution because we actually are not reading the full story, so we will not be able to see that, but you will be able to see the exposition, rising action, and climax. And then for your checkout, you have a learning target question to answer. This is what it looks like. And you are going to answer this question: which line is the climax of the story? So you probably need to review the definition of climax to help you answer this question. You're going to click on the one that you think is the answer, and then you're going to explain your answer in 1 to 3 sentences. So it can be 1 sentence, 2 sentences, or 3 sentences. Explain why you think whichever one you chose is the climax of the story, and then just rate how confident you feel about that answer. And then finally, I have a slide that tells you what your assignments are this week. I've only had like 30 people complete your independent reading contract, which was your assignment for Monday. Of course, I said you can work at your own pace, but if everyone's waiting until the last minute, I may just have assignments that are due on a daily basis. So make sure that you actually are completing these assignments. You had a brain pop assignment due on Tuesday. You have a journal entry that you have to do on Thursday, and throughout the week you should be reading. So you have until Friday at 6 p.m. to turn in this work. But remember, I'm only available during school hours, so if you need help on Friday, I will not be able to help you. If you need help after 2:30 on Thursday, I will not be here to help you. So please make sure that you're following this work plan. If you're not following this work plan, I will not be here to help you. So make sure you're doing that. And then again, these are my office hours and my contact information and resources that may be helpful to you. One last thing I'm going to point out is on your Google Classroom, under the Classwork tab, this is where I have important links for NTI. I just added this recently to make it a little easier for you. And here I have resources. Here is my virtual office, so just click this link to get to my virtual office. And then finally, this is the link to get into class. So if you need any help, please go to my office hours or email me. I'm here to help you during school hours, so make sure you are taking advantage of that. Complete your work as early as possible. And thank you for watching this video. So I will see you guys soon. Bye.